Hello 130 students, and a pleasant good morning, afternoon, or evening to you, depending on when you are watching this. The purpose of this video is just to go over some concepts that we talked about in class with regards to image processing using Scribblers. So the first thing is I've got a Scribbler script set up here, and when the script starts I'm going to init my port, which is going to be different from most of you because I'm using a Mac, as you know. And the first thing I need to do is work with tabs in the Picture and Graphics tabs. Starting in Picture, the very first thing I want to do is set the picture size. And so I need the picture size to be small, in double quotes. And then I need to go ahead and take a picture. So I will go ahead and take a picture. And the mode, I'm going to take this in color mode. Now, I've been calling the variable, I called it Pixie in class, but that's actually a little hard to read. So just in case the resolution's bad, I'm going to call my picture Pict, P-I-C-T. I think that's a little easier to read. So my picture is now, all the contents of all the pixels are stored in this variable called Pict. I would like to see what Pict looks like, so I will say show. I will change picture to Pict. And I can change the title to be anything I want as long as it's in double quotes. Magnificent Monday. Here we go. Let's go ahead and run this and see what we get. And I'm getting an error message. That's because I've already been running this, and so I do not need to reinitialize the port. If I click on this, it says port is already open. No problem. Move this over here just in case I need it. Put it back here. Run it again. And this time, we hope that at some point it is going to show us a picture. Now I'm running this on multiple monitors, so in fact it did show up already. I just have to go ahead and find it. So there it is right there. You should be able to see it right now. Great, we have a picture. Now suppose you don't have a Scribbler robot, or suppose you just want to load pictures. You can do that. All this requires is that we use the Save Picture block, which may be found here in the old Picture tab. So I'll say Save Picture, and I'll give it the name of the variable, Pict, and then the name of the file in double quotes. I'm going to call this myfan.jpg. And so I'm going to go ahead and save this, run it. And what should happen is it should take a picture, and it took a little while to do it, and I'm presuming this is the same picture here, and it should have saved it somewhere on disk. To verify that this really happened, my next step will be to remove all of this. Look, nothing on my sleeve, and I am going to go ahead and load the picture. So I'll just take load picture. Now when I load it, I still have to load it somewhere. I'm going to use the same variable because I'm fond of it, Pict, and I will call this myfan.jpg. I will close this window, and since I've closed that window, it means that I'm going to need the show to re-show it. I'm just trying to demonstrate that I'm not doing any trickery. I really am retrieving a picture from disk. So I'll go ahead and run this, and instantly, on another monitor, that's the problem with having too many monitors, the picture appears. It's instantly because it doesn't have to ship all those pixels over via Bluetooth from the Scribbler to the computer. Now that we've got a picture, we can do all sorts of interesting things with it. We can go through all of its pixels one at a time. Let's talk about how to do that. With a control block, in the control tab, we find the For Each block, and this as structured will walk through the 1, 2, 3, this list here, and every time through item will take on a different value. First item will be 1, then 2, then 3. You can actually see this if we simply go ahead and say print, and we print item. So running this, there's 1, 2, 3 showing up over here. But we don't want to just print items. We've got something much more sophisticated we want to do. So the first thing is, our sequence isn't just going to be a bunch of numbers. It's going to be the pixels of the picture. So we're going to say myrow.getPixels Pict. So it produces a sequence of pixels. And every pixel we will call pixel. And so now this loop will repeat over and over again, each time pixel taking on a different value. If we go into graphics, we can set the values for red, green, and blue, and we can get the values for red, green, and blue. We can also use alpha, but we're not going to worry about that right here. So let me just give you a demonstration. I'm going to see how much red there is. So I'm going to say get red. Now you have to watch it because this block says the word pixel here, but down here in the properties it's actually 0. So you have to type it to be the word pixel. It's a bug. And the variable I'm going to call red. So this shows me how much red I've got. It's going to be a number between 0 to 255. In fact, if I click on here, you will, as I click on the picture, you will notice down here I can actually see for each pixel how much red, green, and blue it has, as well as the alpha value. So I'm going to take the amount of red and I'm going to change it. And I will set red to, in the pixel, I need to change the name here, it's the pixel, and I'm going to take red divided by 2. Right? And then when I go ahead and run this, let's go ahead and run it, and you can see, it's a little hard to see, but there's this blue sheen, sort of a curtain sweeping across. So that's how you can basically take one color, obtain its value, and change it. Now you can do the same thing with red, green, and blue, or if you're feeling ambitious, there's something called set RGB, which will work with all three at the same time. You can, once you've got the value of red, you can use an arbitrary statement here. So for example, where you say result equals 0, you could do something, and for those of you who have not taken programming, this is going to look a little weird, but I can say red, and it can equal red plus 5, and I'll just put this in parentheses. I don't know, I'm just sort of showing off here a little bit. This isn't anything too critical, but anyways, red plus 5 divided by 2. What I've done is I've calculated a new value for red, and so in this case, in my set red, this would needlessly complicate things. I'm just going to set the pixel back to this red. So I can put in, the point is that in this block I can put in any formula that I want. I can transform the red in any way that seems interesting. And that's one of the things that you have to do later in the assignment. Anyway, I hope this has helped. If you have any questions, make sure you go to the help session, and I will see you on Wednesday.